Everyone, I hope you're well. We've got a few things to talk about today. We've got the new trader update for Ermal. We've got the new store update. And we've got a Chinese version of Arc Raiders that has weapon skins and unique game modes that I want to talk about as well. We're going to try and jump into it. If you're wondering when the actual next patch is, well, they did say that they're trying to aim to release live updates every 3 weeks at the moment. So the next one hopefully will be next week, but it could be very small. It could be just a small balance change. We don't know. And that's not set in stone. It could be delayed or pushed around, but that's their current plan. Anyway, so we've got a new skin set to take a look at in just a quick second. And we do have a new set of trader items coming into the store. That will be a little bit later on in the day. We've got the Cavalier outfit, which will be for 200,000 low-tier arc parts. Interesting. Now, this is a huge drop in price. It's kind of interesting they're doing this. Very, very different from last week. We have the prices from last week here. 500,000 high-tier arc parts was the price for the skin last week. And now we've got 200,000 low-tier arc parts. It doesn't necessarily say what that means in this instance. It could be things like arc power cells, arc rubber, arc synthetic resin, that kind of thing. That's what I'm guessing, right? We know high tier parts means the purple and gold. So the bombardier cells, the queen reactors, that stuff. Very, very different set of things this time. We've also got 100,000 low tier arc parts for the backpack attachment. Last week, it was 100k high tier arc parts. We've also got a change to the blueprint this week. Last week, they were offering you could get the Wolfpack blueprint for 500 high-tier arc parts or a combination of that with firearms. This week, the price for the blueprint has been halved. It's the Vita Shop blueprint, which is a pretty good one. And it's low-tier arc parts this time and firearms. A power rod is for sale, and it's for a set of ducks. I don't mind that one. A power rod can be a bit of a pain to craft sometimes, but you can always just get it together with a refiner. Like, you got to wait for Bird City to be in rotation, then go and find the ducks to get one power rod. I mean, I don't know if it's worth it, but this is pretty good. A kinetic converter is on sale for 100,000 low-tier arc parts plus firearms. 100,000 in firearms alone or low-tier arc parts for a kinetic converter is actually quite a steal. Last week, we had an anvil splitter for the same price, but obviously the difference this time is it's low-tier arc parts. It's the things that you're probably just holding on to that you don't need anyway. Case in point, this is about 100k in low-tier arc parts. I guess we'll find out later if this includes all of the arc parts, like advanced arc power cells, arc alloy, hornet drivers, comet igniters, that stuff. Hopefully they let you choose high-tier arc parts as well and not have it categorized to only low-tier parts. We shall see. But overall, this should make it a little bit easier to do this. I'm guessing people are still not interacting with the trader as much as the devs had hoped. And, well, if you're anything like me, you've used all of your high-tier parts to do the trader, and you're left with, like, 1 million arc alloy and things like that because, well, there's nothing really to do with it besides, holding on to it, I suppose. So that is quite a nice change, I must admit. We've also got a Tempest 3 for trade for 50,000 in low-tier arc parts or firearms. A quick little thing. If you want a Tempest 3, check this out, right? You could come here and just upgrade a few stitchers, right? Let's just take the stitcher to stitcher level 4 real quick. I mean, you only need very basic parts, just simple gun parts and metal parts, right? And then 3 mechanicals at the end. So that's a stitcher 4 there. If I go and find the stitcher 4 now, it is already worth 5,000. So by that logic, we could make 10 of these and have a Tempest 3 real quick if we've got the parts lying around. Or maybe you could just stick a bunch of attachments you've got on weapons, stick that on a gun. That could be pretty effective. We can take a little look at the trader right now just to confirm that that's possible. So let's find this item that's eligible. If I go, say, and put, I don't know, a silencer and a kinetic converter on this stitcher, the value now goes up to 19,000. So if I select items, find that stitcher, it's still only worth 5k. So the attachments don't count. Okay. I didn't actually know that. Good to know. So it's only the raw weapon value, but yeah, you could just build 10 Stitcher 4s real quick, and you got yourself a Tempest 3. Not the worst deal in the world. Right, let's take a look at the skin, and then we're going to look at the Chinese version of Arc Raiders, which has new content that we haven't seen before. So let's have a look. It is the Sheath set in store for 1,600 for a bundle. This is the skin. Okay. For those who operate on their own frequency, the satellite dish stapled to the Sheath's helmet is no longer operational, but the suit's sleek shape and visorless helmet broadcasts its own message. I like this. It looks really cool, but it's still within the realm of Arc Raiders lore, you know, just sticking any pieces together to make some kind of outfit. I like it. I like it. The little cape thing kind of gives me Helldivers vibes in a way. You've got belt mask you can take on and off. Okay, that's just the mask down here. That does not change color. The cape can come off and on. The headgear. Okay, that's kind of goofy looking without the helmet. It's kind of funny. Woo! So you can have that. The visor. You can have the mask, or you can have it off completely. And the mask doesn't change color. The visor doesn't change color. I mean, this is the way, surely. And then you can take the sleeves on and off. If you really want to be an absolute goofball, you could do it like, let's have a look. Like that. Altogether, it looks pretty cool, I must say. And then we've got the scrappy version. Nice. And it does come with the Moonlander charm, backpack charm. I like the way that when you zoom in, I've never noticed that before, it just zooms up here. Like, I like to see it down there. Okay, that's pretty funny. Now, let's talk about Chinese Arc Raiders. What's that all about? So, right now, there's a closed beta test, I believe, ongoing for a Chinese version of Arc Raiders. Just to like fill you in quickly if you didn't know how it works, Western developers can't just release their games to China. They need to partner with a Chinese-owned gaming company to release their game in China. And usually what that entails is a Western dev teaming up with Tencent for most of the time. And Tencent will develop and create the content for the Chinese version of the game. Embark will be there as sort of like a partner, but they won't really have much control over development, which is really interesting because as soon as like a beta version of a Chinese version of a game pops up, you get all this different content coming out and you get to see the devs' thought process from a different studio. Like, how would they deal with the game? This doesn't mean any of this content is going to come to the Western version, but it might. Embark might look at the Chinese version and see, oh, these ideas are working well. Maybe we can try it in our own game. It allows Embark to see what other types of content may work, but the truth is, this may never come to the Western version, but it's still interesting to have a look at. So currently, there's 2 different game modes in this Chinese version that are different to the main version. We've got safe zone. Obviously, this is translated via auto translate, so it's not perfect, but it says, thanks to persistent reconnaissance by the ambushers, communications in this region have now been temporarily fully restored. Shani can now monitor all local illegal actions with a rebellion mechanism. So that doesn't really make sense. I've looked into it a bit further. How this works is, by default, nobody can hurt each other. It's like a PVE mode, but at any point you can choose to rebel and there'll be a red light that appears above your backpack. If that red light is on, you can shoot any other player and any other player can shoot you. If you don't choose to rebel, nobody can hurt you. You can't hurt anybody else. It's like this big PVE mode, but you can choose to turn on the rebel mechanic and then everyone could be out to kill you. You can kill anyone else. So you kind of got a bit of visual clue that somebody wants to kill you before, someone can't just walk up to you and shoot you unless that red light is above their head and they've chosen to activate it first. Interesting idea. I think a lot of PvE players might like this kind of mechanic. I'd love to know what you think about it. It still has the risk of you getting killed, but in a bit more of a gated environment. It's a little bit easier to predict if someone's going to shoot you or not, right? Well, a lot easier. And then we got Dual Boss. High frequency raider has simultaneously locked onto 2 targets, the Queen and the Matriarch. Currently, there is no retreat. Ambushes for Speranza. Like I say, translation's gone a bit weird there. The Queen and Matriarch appear simultaneously. Additional supply drops in the ground combat zone. So, we know how quick the Queen and Matriarch die in PvE lobbies. The devs are like, let's just stick both the Ark together in a single map. Pretty cool. If they were spread across the map on both ends, you could have both fights going simultaneously. I think the main reason the devs haven't done this is probably because of performance issues. Very interested to see how this performs. If it does well, then I feel like this kind of thing probably would get a good chance of releasing in the main Western version. And I'm sure Embark will be taking a look at this to see how well this kind of content does. No promises this will ever come to the Western version. Speaking of which, weapon skins. Yes, that's right. The Chinese version has weapon skins. Tencent always love to do this. They've got their own little game studios that rework and develop Chinese versions of games. I've seen it across so many different games. The Finals, Embark's other game, they did it there. Apex Legends did it. So many other games, when the Chinese version comes out, they get all sorts of different cosmetics. Question to you is, would you like to see weapon cosmetics in Arc Raiders? I think it's pretty cool. I think it wouldn't really ruin the you know, every weapon has quite a unique silhouette, so you can kind of figure out what weapon someone has anyway. And also, they all sound very different, so it wouldn't ruin the gameplay element. I think weapon cosmetics would be really, really cool. You know, they're usually a bit cooler in first-person shooter games, but these look awesome. I wouldn't mind it. I would not mind it. So we've got the Full River Red, Lemon Battery Renegade, and the Arc Trails Arpeggio. And apparently this skin as well. Now, you're probably wondering, is any of this stuff real? Like, what if it's just fake, right? It seems real. It's in a closed beta, so people are behind an NDA. They can't really post any information about it without ruining their NDA, but I'll show you one thing. It's taking a long time to load, but the official Arc Raiders website is arc.qq.com, and you can sign up for testing there. If you are in China or you have a WeChat account, you can sign up for testing. I've signed up. I do have a WeChat account. I don't know if I'll be able to get into the test, but obviously there's an NDA, so I can't show gameplay if I do get in. But maybe in the future, there'll be an open test, and I can show you some gameplay. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty much just a look. There's nothing on the website that shows you anything different about Arc Raiders. It's all the same. But I'll keep you up to date if I find out anything else. Let me know what you think about all this news today, and I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio.